Tesla has quietly delivered a potentially devastating blow to its competitors after deploying nearly 500 wall connectors in just 4 weeks, backed by an absolutely insane budget. On top of that, Tesla says the Roadster is currently in testing and will be produced in Texas ahead of a rumored official reveal early next month. And finally, the Cybercab robotaxi has reportedly achieved a technical milestone never seen before. So why is the installation of nearly 500 wall connectors such a big deal? What exactly is Tesla planning behind this multi-million-dollar gamble? And what massive benefits could it bring to users? You might be surprised by what Elon Musk is actually building behind the scenes. Before diving deeper into Tesla's deployment of 500 wall connectors, we believe most people either don't fully understand or completely underestimate what a Tesla wall connector really is. It's not just a regular wall charger. Tesla designed it as a critical piece of infrastructure that transforms a home garage into a true Level 2 charging station, allowing the vehicle to remain fully charged and ready to drive every single morning. With a maximum output of 11.5 kilowatts, equivalent to a 48-amp power supply, the device can add roughly 44 miles or nearly 70 kilometers of driving range for every hour of charging. That creates a massive difference compared to traditional household outlets, which are much slower and far less stable. Instead of relying on public charging stations or waiting around for hours, users can simply plug in their cars overnight and wake up the next morning with a battery that's almost always fully charged and ready to go. But charging speed is only part of the story. What truly allows the Tesla wall connector to dominate the American market is the way Tesla turned charging into a seamless extension of its entire EV ecosystem. Even the smallest interactions reflect Tesla's obsession with optimization. The button on the charging handle can automatically open the vehicle's charge port without the driver touching the screen or doing anything manually. It's a small detail, but it creates a level of integration that most third-party chargers struggle to replicate. What's even more important is the software layer behind the hardware. Once connected to the Tesla app, the wall connector does far more than simply deliver electricity. It acts like a smart energy management system. Users can schedule charging during off-peak electricity hours to reduce operating costs, monitor charging status in real time, or allow multiple chargers to intelligently balance power loads on the same electrical circuit to prevent breaker overloads. And this is where Tesla is clearly trying to pull customers deeper into its energy ecosystem, the Charge on Solar feature. The system can prioritize excess solar energy generated by Tesla solar products to charge the vehicle, effectively turning the EV into part of the home's energy network rather than just a transportation device. Over just the past 4 weeks, Tesla has activated another 491 wall connectors across 73 new locations throughout North America. At first glance, that may sound like nothing more than a routine infrastructure expansion. But if you look deeper, it suggests Tesla's Wall Connector for Business program has effectively moved beyond the experimental phase and entered full-scale industrial deployment. 73 locations, 491 chargers in just 1 month. And what's especially interesting is that the scale at individual sites is already going far beyond the normal idea of a typical Level 2 charging area. One site alone, located at 5420 Sunset Boulevard in Los Angeles, received an astonishing 127 wall connectors in a single deployment. That kind of charging density used to exist only at massive highway supercharger stations. But this time, Tesla installed it directly inside an urban real estate property. Meanwhile, an apartment complex in Avondale, Arizona called Flat 623 received 28 chargers, and steel lofts also appeared on the deployment list. This makes it increasingly clear that Tesla is no longer focusing only on traditional public charging stations. The company is now targeting high-density residential buildings, office complexes, and properties where vehicles typically remain parked for hours at a time. And this is where the strategy behind those numbers becomes far more interesting. Tesla appears to be building a completely different vision for EV infrastructure than most people expected. Superchargers solve the problem of long-distance travel, but Wall Connector for Business addresses a much quieter and arguably more important problem where people actually live and park their cars every single day. The reality is that not every EV owner has a private garage. Not every apartment building was designed with EV-ready electrical infrastructure. For millions of urban residents in America, the biggest problem has never been, how fast can the car charge? It's where can I plug in my car tonight? And Tesla seems to understand that extremely well. Instead of only building more charging stations along highways, the company is bringing charging infrastructure directly to the places where cars spend the most time parked: office parking lots, apartment complexes, shopping centers, and mixed-use developments. From an economic standpoint, this is also why the program has accelerated so aggressively since late 2025. According to previous reports, Tesla added more than 1,250 commercial wall connectors between November 20, 2025 and mid-April 2026. In just a 2-week period during March 20, 2026 alone, roughly 570 chargers were activated across 90 different locations, including a 62-unit installation at Barcelona Tower in Los Angeles. What's really interesting is that this rollout speed has been repeating almost like clockwork every 2 weeks, suggesting Tesla may have fully standardized the entire process from electrical site surveys and installation to network configuration and system activation at industrial scale. Tesla is also making a very smart move when it comes to compatibility. The universal wall connector is no longer just a Tesla-only charger. It directly supports the NAC standard while also including a built-in J1772 adapter mechanism inside the charger itself, allowing non-Tesla EVs to use it without requiring separate external adapters. That may sound like a small detail, but it's actually a hugely important strategic move. Tesla is turning its infrastructure into the default charging standard for the entire North American EV market, not just for Tesla owners anymore. For property owners, the equation is becoming increasingly obvious as well. In today's highly competitive rental market, EV charging is starting to become an amenity with the same level of value as a gym or a swimming pool. And Tesla is making deployment dramatically easier by offering something close to a complete package: hardware, system management, software, power load balancing, and installation coordination. The fact that one property in Los Angeles was willing to deploy as many as 127 charging points shows that some real estate developers no longer see EV charging as an experiment. They now view it as essential infrastructure for the next generation of residents. If Tesla maintains its current deployment pace throughout 2026, the coverage of the wall connector for business network could expand much faster than most people expect. And for people living or working in buildings that still don't offer EV charging today, the period of relying entirely on superchargers may be shrinking very quickly. Now let's talk about the Tesla Roadster, the car that has spent nearly an entire decade hidden in the shadows of Elon Musk's promises and delays, but may finally be starting to emerge. And before we continue, this video only exists because of you. If you want to keep this community growing, hit that subscribe and like button. It really means a lot to us. Thanks. Since first appearing back in 2017, the Tesla Roadster has remained one of the company's most mysterious projects. And not just because its launch date has been delayed over and over again, but because of one very basic question Tesla never clearly answered for years: where exactly will this car actually be built? In reality, Tesla never had many options. Fremont was the factory traditionally responsible for flagship vehicles like the Model S and Model X, while Gigafactory Texas has become Tesla's next-generation manufacturing hub on a much larger scale. Beyond that, Nevada was really the only other possible candidate if Tesla wanted to create a highly specialized production line, especially since the company is also preparing semi-production there, but for a very long time. Tesla avoided giving any official confirmation about the Roadster's production location. Until recently, during an episode of the Ride the Lightning podcast featuring Tesla chief designer Franz von Holzhausen and VP of engineering Lars Moravi, Tesla finally revealed one of the most important details surrounding the Roadster. Franz confirmed that the vehicle will be produced at Gigafactory Texas, and this is actually a much bigger detail than it may seem at first glance. According to Franz, the massive scale of Gigafactory Texas gives Tesla enough room to build an entirely new production line for the Roadster without significantly disrupting existing manufacturing operations. He also revealed that Tesla's team has already started planning factory layouts and preparing production-related infrastructure at the Austin facility. And that suggests the Roadster may actually be much closer to real production than many people realize. At Tesla, the process of allocating factory space for a vehicle program usually happens fairly late in development. The company rarely commits manufacturing space to a new model unless the production architecture, packaging, and engineering direction have already reached a relatively stable stage. With a rumored price tag of around $250,000, the Tesla Roadster is not just another electric supercar. It's Elon Musk's bold technological statement aimed directly at breaking the dominance of traditional gasoline-powered performance cars. Equipped with a tri-motor AWD system and the heavily promoted SpaceX-inspired rocket package upgrade, the Roadster is claimed to deliver absolutely insane performance figures: 0 to 60 miles per hour in under 1 second and a top speed exceeding 250 miles per hour. And the crazy part is that Tesla says the performance story doesn't stop there. The vehicle's massive 200 kWh battery pack is also expected to deliver a record-breaking range of up to 620 miles on a single charge. Of course, these are still claimed figures for now. We'll likely have to wait until next month, if Tesla's latest timeline actually holds to finally see how much of this ambitious project becomes reality. It's not just the Roadster anymore. The Cybercab is now becoming another major focus inside Tesla, after company executives confirmed that the robotaxi has achieved a technical milestone that almost no commercial EV has ever reached before. The Cybercab has reportedly been certified as the most energy-efficient electric vehicle ever approved for road use, consuming only around 165 Wh per mile. To put that into perspective, that's roughly 40% lower energy consumption than a standard Tesla Model 3, which is already considered one of the most efficient EVs on the market today. And this isn't just some laboratory benchmark. It reflects Tesla's broader attempt to completely redefine what energy efficiency means for a commercially operated autonomous vehicle designed to run continuously. In a recent discussion, Tesla VP of Vehicle Engineering, Lars Moravi, explained that the Cybercab platform was engineered from the ground up around real-world efficiency optimization, not simply shaving off a few percentage points of power consumption like traditional EV programs often do. What's even more interesting is that Tesla apparently doesn't see 165 Wh per mile as the final limit. Following the presentation, Eric E., the lead engineer behind the Cybercab program, emphasized on X that the development team is still actively working to reduce the vehicle's energy consumption even further. According to him, 165 Wh per mile is only the starting point. That statement actually reveals a lot about Tesla's long-term strategy. For a normal personal vehicle, high efficiency mainly helps reduce electricity costs. But for a robotaxi, energy efficiency almost directly determines the profitability of the entire system. The less electricity a Cybercab consumes, the less time it needs to spend charging. And the less time the vehicle sits idle, the more continuously it can operate, transport passengers, and generate revenue. That's exactly why Tesla is pursuing efficiency at a deeply physical level instead of relying only on software optimization. Every watt-hour saved can scale across millions of operational miles each year inside a large autonomous ride-hailing network. At that point, a difference of just a few dozen Wh per mile is no longer a minor detail. It becomes a massive advantage in total operating costs across the entire fleet. Tesla officially began Cybercab production at Gigafactory, Texas last month, and according to the company, the steering wheel-free vehicles are already being built in meaningful quantities. During the recent launch event for the updated Model S and Model X, Tesla also confirmed that Gigafactory Texas will ramp up mass production of the Cybercab starting in June. At the same time, Tesla is continuing to expand its robotaxi testing network. After Austin and the San Francisco Bay Area, the company has now extended its FSD ride service into Dallas and Houston as well. Although the current fleets still mainly rely on standard consumer Tesla vehicles, the introduction of a dedicated platform like the Cybercab could completely change the scale and speed at which this network expands. Because at that point, Tesla would no longer need to optimize one vehicle for both private ownership and robotaxi operations at the same time. The Cybercab is being designed almost entirely around a single objective: autonomous transportation at the lowest possible operating cost. And that incredibly low 165 Wh energy consumption is the foundation that could allow this business model to scale massively in the future. However, there's still one major obstacle ahead: regulation. Tesla still needs to clear a long list of local and federal safety requirements before fully driverless vehicles can be deployed at large commercial scale. That's exactly why Tesla previously confirmed it has already prepared a backup plan. If certain regions require it, the Cybercab could still be sold with a traditional steering wheel. And that detail reveals something important about Tesla's overall strategy. The company clearly wants to accelerate the robotaxi future as quickly as possible. But it also understands that real-world deployment will depend on far more than technology alone. Ultimately, the speed of adoption will also depend on how quickly cities and regulators are willing to move toward a world where nobody is sitting behind the wheel anymore. That's all for today. What do you think about the Tesla wall connector, Roadster, and Cybercab? Drop a comment below. Our team is expanding and we're planning some massive global projects. Subscribe now so you don't miss out on what's coming next. Goodbye.